89.3 and 88.5 Yes FM. Also broadcasting on the internet at yeshome.com and on your smartphone through TuneIn Radio and Wonder Radio.
And we're excited to have in the studio this afternoon the Aquire the Fire worship team. Aquire the Fire, a big youth event that you could say is empowering teens to be rebels in this world. For 26 years now. This is 26th year of Aquire the Fire. And we have the worship band here. And why don't you introduce yourselves?
I am Daniel. I'm the lead vocalist for Aquire the Fire.
I'm Cody, and I'm the drummer.
I'm Bonita, and I'm piano and backup vocals.
I'm Jeremy, and I play electric guitar.
And I'm Jeremy, and I play trumpet.
All right, and you guys come from all over the place then, huh?
Yeah, we're from everywhere. I'm from D.C., and we got Colorado, Texas, and he's even from Ohio, so he's from Lima.
Yeah, one of our local boys, our very own. Jeremy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about you first. So how'd you go from Lima, Ohio to be on this incredible nationwide worship team for Aquire the Fire?
Well, it's been a journey. I went to Teen Mania Ministries. Well, I mean, I grew up going to Aquire the Fire with my youth group. And long story short, I went to Teen Mania Ministries for an internship and was there for about 3 years. And then the director of the event asked me if I would like to be a part of the worship team, and I said, of course. So we've been doing it since about August, just getting together, practicing, writing stuff, and it's been great.
All right. And, Aquire the Fire coming close to your hometown.
Yeah, I mean, it's only like 2.5 hours away in Muncie, Indiana, this Friday. So.
Wow. So April 5th and 6th, you guys, the Aquire the Fire will be in Muncie, Indiana.
That's right.
And then also closer to Toledo, April 26th and 27th, Aquire the Fire will be in Lansing, Michigan. And just visit aquirethefire.com for more information. But you guys are going to be doing a show in Lima, right?
Yes, we will be playing Wednesday in Lima, and we're playing at Calvary Chapel of Praise. So if you're around there, just come on out. Doors are open at 6:30.
All right, we'll talk more about that in a little bit and talk more with the band here on the Afternoon Rebellion at Yes FM. And in the studio, we have the Aquire the Fire worship team. The Aquire the Fire going to be in Muncie, Indiana this weekend. But, hey, you'll have a chance to see these guys perform. It's Wednesday night, right? Wednesday night right here in Lima. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll ask you.
Yeah, we're playing in Lima at Calvary Chapel of Praise, and so anybody that's in the area, just come on out, and we're just going to have a good time of worship with everybody there. All
right. Now, for those that aren't familiar with Aquire the Fire, tell us about what an Aquire the Fire event's all about.
Aquire the Fire is basically a 26-hour life-changing event, and so there's bands like Hawk Nelson, who we were just with in the last event we played at, and all these different bands come out, and basically the whole central theme of these 26 hours is, hey, let's just get fired up and get on fire for the Lord. And so you come to these, there's worship, there's awesome speaking, and the whole central message is of this year, the title of the whole tour is Relentless Pursuit, and just how the Lord has been relentlessly pursuing us from the beginning of time. And so just getting intact with that, and it's just really a time to just come and just get your faith stirred up.
All right, so what time does it start on Friday then in Muncie?
It starts doors are open at 6 p.m. and the event starts at 7.
And what time does it wrap up on Saturday?
On Saturday, you're usually done by about 9 o'clock.
All right, so either from Lima, you can drive home at night, or there's Muncie, Indiana, home of Ball State University, so I'm sure there's lots of places to stay, lots of things to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what inspired, from the very beginning, who and what inspired these Aquire the Fire events?
Well, Ron Luce, who's the he's the president of our ministry, and he got a word, if you will, from the Lord that basically said, build me an army of young people to go to the nations. And so really that's what Aquire the Fire is it's, hey, young people, while the culture is telling you this, like there still is a generation that loves the Lord. There still is a generation out there that is on fire for the Lord. And these events are just kind of an example of that there still are youth. There still is a young generation that desires the Lord. And so from then, his heart is to see those youth take to the nations.
Now, that is actually something that we talk about a lot on, the Afternoon Rebellion. We're challenging our listeners to go out there, especially the teenagers, to be rebels in their school, to be on fire for God. How would you guys suggest that people could be rebels as teenagers?
I think that at the end of the day, it's so easy to, what the world is telling you is just that's the easy way to go. You know what I mean? Like what you're hearing in school and going with the culture, those are the easy things to do. And the Lord has called us to higher. And whether man knows it or not, we actually have this like obsession where we have to be with the Lord because he's created us that way. And so we can try all these other things that the that the world wants us to do, but it's never going to satisfy us the way the Lord has created us to be, and that's with him. And so my encouragement is just to go with what you were created for, which is for the Lord.
We're talking with the Aquire the Fire worship team, Aquire the Fire in Muncie, Indiana this weekend, Friday night and Saturday. But the Aquire the Fire worship team going to be performing in Lima on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at Calvary Chapel of Praise. We'll tell you more about that in a little bit and talk more with the band here on the Afternoon Rebellion in just a bit. But where can people go to find out more information about Aquire the Fire?
You can go to aquirethefirelive.com or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter.
And in the studio we have from Aquire the Fire, the worship team from Aquire the Fire, and it's going to be in Muncie, Indiana this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And Aquire the Fire going to be in Lansing, Michigan, April 26th through the 27th. You can find out more information at aquirethefire.com. Now, looks like the theme this year is Relentless Pursuit, captured by the fierce love of God.
Yes.
Awesome. What are some of the topics that are going to be discussed this weekend?
We're really talking about everything. I mean, obviously, relentless pursuit, just that, talking about how the Lord has been relentlessly pursuing his people since the beginning of time. And so just kind of talking about that. But we tackle all issues. They're talking about relationships. They're talking about friendships. Just like anything that a young person or a teenager, or even a young adult would deal with, they're tackling those issues at Aquire the Fire.
Yeah, even just modesty for women, and just, I know that they hit on, like, for girls, it's so hard. Like, we've been talking about just like rebelling against culture. And so just even for women, it's hard to, especially with images just all over the place. You want to dress, you want to talk, you want to get a boyfriend, you want to do all these things that the world tells you you need to be successful, when you really don't, to be a daughter of the Lord. So,
Jeremy?
Yeah, we're also going to be doing mission trips this summer, and so we'll be talking about that a little bit. But we have what's called global expeditions, and really it gives teenagers the opportunities to go out, take the gospel to the nations, to people that have never heard the gospel before. And so it's one way that you can take a stand, while everyone is chilling, relaxing during the summer. You can take 1, 2, 4 weeks out of your summer and really go be that light into a dark place.
So who will be some of the speakers that'll be speaking this weekend?
There's going to be Ron Luce. He's coming out. And then I believe at this event will be Chemtel Glasgow. And so he'll be the other speaker there.
All right. And, of course, with the Choir of the Fire, you've got great music from you guys. And who are some of the other bands that are going to be playing?
Rapture Ruckus, Building 429, and Satellites and Sirens.
Good lineup. Good lineup. So what's your role in the whole Aquire the Fire weekend? You guys kind of like the hosts, or you just come up there at the beginning? Or
yeah, we're really okay. Can I give you my heart on that?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Basically, this is a great question. I love this. Basically, what I view as my role, just in leading people in worship, is, when they first come in, the first thing that happens is we're going to worship, and then we worship 3 times on Saturday. So that's 4 times of worship. And a lot of these kids that are coming in have never lifted their hands or anything like that. And so my heart is, when you come into my room, we're going to worship, and we're going to set this atmosphere where King Jesus is going to be glorified in this room. And I don't care if you're not used to that. I don't care if you've never done that before, lifted your hands. Look around you. There's going to be people in this room like you've never seen before that are worshiping the King of Kings. And so I love Aquire the Fire, because every weekend we see the Lord do that, where all of a sudden on Saturday night, when it's our last night of worship, there's just a whole room filled of people that are just, crying, like just yelling out and just worshiping worshiping. It's awesome.
Cool. Choir of the Fire in Muncie, Indiana this weekend, but they'll have a chance to see the worship team here in Lima this Wednesday night.
Yes, Wednesday night at Calvary Chapel of Praise. Doors open at 6:30 and it starts at 7.
Is there any admission?
Nope, free. Just come on out.
All right, awesome. Well, if you missed that, you can just give us a call here at the studio. We can give you all the details. Now, Lima, listen up. Rapture Ruckus was there in December, and wow, they had the crowd really loved them. When they got done playing, everyone just swarmed to their merch table. So here's your chance to see Rapture Ruckus again in Muncie this weekend. Details on Aquire the Fire at acquirethefire.com. We'll talk more with the band in just a little bit, and if you have a question for the band, email or text us to studio@yeshome.com or post something on Facebook. And we have the Aquire the Fire worship team here in the studio. Aquire the Fire in Muncie, Indiana this weekend, Friday and Saturday. I see that it's in Dallas this weekend too. So do you guys have to fly back and forth?
No, actually we have 2 teams that go back and forth, and so there's 2 Aquire the Fire live bands, and so they'll be playing in Dallas, and then we'll be not playing in Dallas.
But you guys are the better one, right?
I mean, yes. Secretly, we hate them and want to do everything. No, we love them.
It's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
We're in trouble.
Yeah.
And you have a chance to catch the Aquire the Fire worship team Wednesday night at Calvary Chapel of Praise in Lima, beginning at 7 o'clock. That is a free show. What can people expect Wednesday night when they see you, and then also on Friday and Saturday?
We're just people, so come out and say hey, and we're just going to do what we love, which is get in the presence of the Lord. And so if people have never really experienced that, or if it sounds weird, then you should definitely come, because it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be no different on a Friday or Saturday night.
All right. So you guys get up there and you just kind of mellow hymn music, or do you guys like to rock out?
We're definitely not mellow. No, it's there's been a lot of planning that's gone into these Friday and Saturday night worship sets. So we have a lot of fun stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Can you even be mellow with a trumpet player? Can you play a trumpet mellowly?
You can be weird with a trumpet player.
I mean, other than unless you play taps.
Taps? No, I don't play taps.
Well, maybe if the crowd's not responding.
Yeah, exactly. Take this, crowd.
Well, hey, we have a couple questions for you guys that have been emailed and texted in. We have one from Jonathan. Well, it's not a question. He's just saying, tell Cody I said hi. He's my favorite.
Hi, Johnny.
And we have a question from Matt. He asks, what's life on the road like, and who are some of your favorite bands?
Life on the road, I'll speak for me. I love it, honestly. We make sure to not stop at McDonald's or Taco Bell or anything like that.
Not by my choice.
Yeah, some of us don't like that. We eat Subway or stop at Walmart, buy a rotisserie chicken or something like that, eat that bad boy for 2 days or something like that. So I honestly love it. I dreamed of doing this as a kid, and now I get to do it, so I love it.
Any other guys? Anyone want to answer that one?
I personally hate traveling, but it's been phenomenal.
But I mean, are you home during the week most of the time? Or no?
We've been on the road for about a month and a half now.
Oh wow!
And I haven't gone home yet. It's been great. Just seeing sights. I went to the Mall of America last week. Oh. Wow, there's a roller coaster in there. That's nuts. I never think I'd ever see a roller coaster in a mall, but yeah.
So with the events on Friday and Saturday, what do you do during the week then?
Well, you want to take it? You got it?
Well, usually we drive from one place to the other. We have events. In 2 weeks we have to go from Muncie all the way to Sacramento, California.
Oh wow!
So it's over a 40-hour drive, and so during the week that's usually what we're doing is traveling to our next spot. But we try to only take it about 10 hours at a time, so we can kind of stop in places, spend the night in different houses, and have fun.
What's some of your favorite bands?
Oh gosh, we listen to everything, and some of us hate the music that some of us listen to. So yeah, we listen. I mean, a lot of Hillsong and Jesus Culture and stuff like that. But then, yeah, we listen to a lot of Bethel and stuff. But then every now and then we'll just throw in something. Cobb listens to the most weird indie stuff I've ever heard in my life, and shouldn't even be called music, and that's what he listens to. Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite bands that you had to perform alongside with at an Aquire the Fire event?
Highland's a lot of fun. We've played with Highland. We played with Hawk Nelson last 2 weeks ago. They're a lot of fun too.
I had a blast watching Sean Locke. Sean Locke was really good.
Did he do the drum thing where he rotated with?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
Yeah. And Rapture Ruckus, I enjoy them, and so they're really good in concert.
Yeah, they put on a good show.
They're really great guys.
So do you guys, I want to go back to this like driving 40 hours thing because that just sounds like horrible to me. Do you guys all ride in one van together or?
Yeah.
And who's the best driver out of everybody?
Oh,
That would be me.
Oh, with an standing ovation, no.
Wait, he's from Ohio, and Ohioans are some of the worst drivers in the country.
Amen.
No, I mean DC. No.
Right. I drive the fastest out of everybody. So
And where are you from?
I'm from DC.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, I'm used to that fast-paced life, So
I like to drive long hours, so I'm the one that drives 12 hours or 8 hours.
But like we left from Colorado, like it was snowy Colorado, beautiful, cold. We left, drove through the night, and we were in like 12 hours. We were in LA, and like in all of a sudden sunny LA. So it's just so cool. Like I mean, where else are you gonna get to do that? You know what I mean? I love it.
We'll talk more with the Aquire the Fire worship team in just a little bit. Don't forget, you can catch them in Lima this Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at Calvary Chapel of Praise. It is a free show. And, of course, in Muncie, Indiana, this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Details at aquirethefire.com. And for those of you in the Toledo area, if Muncie's a little too far for you, Aquire the Fire is going to be in Lansing, Michigan on April 26th and 27th. Again, details at aquirethefire.com.
We are talking with the Aquire the Fire worship team. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us this afternoon. Tell us a little bit about what is the biggest God moment that you guys have had so far.
Well, like every weekend it's going to be different because it's a different crowd, different city, different agenda for God's Art. But I know that in Minneapolis, then it was, I think, Saturday night, and we'd just been pouring ourselves out in prayer, like ready to see God move. And Saturday night, I mean, we have to keep to a kind of a strict schedule because we have a lot to fit into this weekend. But worship went over, it was like about an hour long. It went over about 10 minutes past the scheduled time. And usually when you get in a crowd, you see a couple people just randomly yell out things in the crowd, and you're like, oh, that was kind of weird. But on Saturday night, it happened, but it happened in a structured, orderly way that I'd never seen before, and it was just one person crying out to God after the next, after the next, after the next, and it was just completely flowing, and it was just a God thing. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, since we've been together, I've never believed in prayer. Like, I know that you're supposed to, and like, oh, that's cute and everything like that. But like, we started as a band just praying together, and I have never felt the way that I felt and seen the things that I've seen before since we started doing this. And like, to anybody that's listening, prayer works. If there's a problem in your life, pray, because it works. And like, we just started praying together, I can almost say every single day since we started. Sometimes an hour, sometimes 2.5 hours. Not that like how long you go makes you more holy or anything like that. Sometimes we'll just come together and we don't say anything. It's just nothing needs to be said, and we'll just sit there and we just pray, and we just hear what the Lord wants to do for every single city. And like, I used to think that sounds weird. We're going to hear what God says, but like, no, we hear what he says for each city, and then we get to go out and just be his hands and feet and do that. And it's been the most like Red Bull, but like totally amped up, exhilarating feeling that I just ever felt. You know what I mean? When you get off that stage and you're like, I was just used by the Lord, and there's nothing in my mind that can like try and doubt me that I was totally just used by the Lord. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, we had a question from Stacy, and I think you guys just answered that. But she goes on to say, other than, of course, the amazing sights of his glory as you travel across the country. So she said, do you all want to share any testimony about how the Lord has worked in your life since you've been on the road, other than, of course, the amazing sights of his glory as you travel across the country? So you guys kind of...
Yeah, and everywhere we go, something new happens. Like Wally got to talk to a fortune teller and kind of like minister to her, and like just get random gas
stations. The voodoo bone lady. That was
and so like which they just have a sign on them that says "minister to me." You know what I mean? And so like, and there's gas stations and things like that. There's just been different opportunities to just like, wow, like that was God. He moves not only on stage but off stage. So
yeah.
And we have a question from Ryan. How did Cody get so good at drumming?
Twinkies.
Twinkies? No, heck no.
Now what are you doing now that Twinkies are gone forever?
I've got a stockpile of them. I mean, just practice, I guess. Just play with. I've played with a bunch of different bands, and like what you feel. Like I've continually asked the Lord, I'm just like, God, I want to play something different, but I don't necessarily have the ability to do so. So I want you to play through me. And there's times that even during events and stuff that I've heard something and I've played it. And it was just like, wow, like, I don't know, like these guys can attest, like they're like, dang, they come up to me afterwards and go, wow, where'd that come from? I don't know, I guess it was God. But I guess just like be consistent with the small things, and just listen to God, dude.
Now Ryan must be one of your friends, Cody. He goes on to say, also, do you remember that time you stayed at my apartment in Boston? It was so cool. You were so cool. Also, do you remember Chocolate Fury?
Oh heck yeah, Chocolate Fury.
Should we ask any more? Or no,
no you're better off not asking.
This is the Aquire the Fire worship team. They're going to be performing in Lima Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at Calvary Chapel of Praise, and then in Muncie, Indiana, this Friday and Saturday night. Anything else you wanted to talk about? Did we?
Yeah, I just wanted to say really quick, it doesn't matter what God's called you to do. If God's called you to do it and He's anointed you and put you in a place to go, whether it's on missions, whether it's taking a stand in your school, saying no to the culture, then He's going to make a way, even if it looks like it's impossible. Like, I never would have thought I'd be playing trumpet on the road in front of thousands of people every weekend. It's almost unheard of. So God is a God of the impossible.
It is Aquire the Fire, a great youth weekend. Highly encourage you to be a part of one. And certainly if you want to be a rebel, this is going to empower you to do that. And again, in Muncie, Indiana, this is the closest one to Lima, this Friday and Saturday night. And the closest one in Toledo next on the list would be Lansing, Michigan, April 26th and 27th. And the best place people can go to find out more information and register would be online at the website?
Yeah, aquirethefirelive.com.
All right. aquirethefire.com. And if you need more information, you can give us a call here as well, especially for the Aquire the Fire worship team's concert Wednesday night at Calvary Chapel of Praise, beginning at 7 o'clock. All right, Jeremy, anything you want to say to people in Lima to come on out Wednesday night? Or?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're in Lima, if you're free, come on out. It's going to be a great time just getting in the presence of God, and we're going to have fun. We're going to maybe dance a little bit, maybe, I don't know, act a little funky, but it'll be fun,
And, Jeremy, you're from Lima.
Yep.
In case you didn't hear that earlier. What high school did you go to?
I went to Shawnee High School in Lima.
All right.
So.
All right.
Trumpet player in a rock band.
Hey, it happens.
I guess so.
Get more details on the weekend conferences at aquirethefire.com. And don't forget they are in concerts. The Aquire the Fire, the worship team, Wednesday night at Calvary Chapel of Praise in Lima. If you need more details, just give us a call here at the studio. Thanks, guys. It was a pleasure meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. You guys are doing a great thing.
Thank you.
Yes, FM.